In this lecture, we are going to learn about the if statement that is used for one-way decision making. Now, in any decision making statements, there are two things that we need to take care of. The first one is the expression or the condition that will help us to take the decision. And second one is the statement that is to be executed if the condition is true. So first of all, let's talk about the expression. Now, expression will help us to take the decision. Okay, so this expression is generally the conditional expression. Okay, conditional expression, EXPR, it stands for expression. Now, this expression will either result to true or to false. Okay, this will evaluate to true or false. So whenever this expression evaluates to true, that means the condition is true. If the condition is true, we will execute our statement that is given in the statement number 2. Okay, this is what will be executed if the condition is true. And if the condition is false, we do not specify anything to be done. That is the one-way decision making. In one-way decision making, we only deal about the true condition. Alright, so this is the syntax for one-way decision making using simple if. So if is the keyword reserved in C, if is a reserved keyword in C, okay, then you have to open the parenthesis like this, and then you have to write your expression, the expression that is the conditional expression, okay, and close the parenthesis. And you do not give a semicolon after this parenthesis here, okay, and this is how you do. So this is your expression comes here, okay, and if this expression is true, you have to write down this statement that you want to execute. So this is the statement that you would like to execute. Okay, so this is the syntax for the if statement. So let's look at this example number 1 to check if the number x is even. Now first we need to think of the expression that will determine if the number is even. How do we check if the number is even? We divide x by 2 and check the remainder. So I'll do x mod 2, that will give me the remainder. If the remainder is equals to 0, I'm using the equality equals to, okay, relational operator. If it is equals to 0, the remainder is equals to 0, that means the number is even. So this is my expression. And what would be my statement? If the expression is true, what do? I'll have to print that the number is even. So I'll just write printf even. Okay. So let us write down the code for this. Okay, using this syntax that's given here. Okay. So this, as per the syntax, first I have to use the keyword if and open the parenthesis. Here I need to provide the expression. Expression is nothing but x mod 2 equals to 0, assuming that x is already declared before. Okay, this is the condition. Okay, this is the expression. And what is my statement? Statement is printf even. So I'll give the statement here, printf even. So this is how you write down. So how it works is very simple. First of all, this condition is evaluated first, step number 1. Okay, so let's say if x is 5. Okay, if x is 5, this is evaluated first. So x is odd, so this is already false, right? Because 5 mod 2 is not 0. So if x is 5, this would be false. So if this is false, that means this statement printing even is not evaluated. So this is not evaluated, right? That means even is not displayed in the screen. But if x is 6, what happens is 6 mod 2 is 0, right? This is true. So if this is true, then this printf even statement is evaluated. So even will be displayed in the screen. This is how it works. So because here we are only making decision one way, we are not concerned about the else part. Okay, if this is not even, what happens? We are not specifying that in the simple if statement. Therefore, it is a one-way decision making. Okay, now let's move on to example number 2. In example number 2, you have to check if the number is positive. How do we check if number x is positive? It's very simple. X is greater than 0. If x is greater than 0, it is a positive number. Very simple, right? So this is the expression for checking if the number is positive. And what do you do in the statement? That is to be executed if the condition is true. I'll have to display that the number is positive. So I'll just write printf positive. Okay. So I can put this up in the if statement. I can write if. Then I have to open the parenthesis, give the condition. That is the condition is x greater than 0. This is the condition. Okay. And then inside this, I'll write printf it's positive. Okay, I can give any message to display that the number is positive. Okay, so this is how it works. So this is simple if. I hope you have understood how if statement works. Now we can write a program to demonstrate the same. Now let us write down a program here to check if the number is positive. So already we have scanned the number x. X is my integer number. So how do I check if number is positive? First of all, I have to give the if keyword. Okay, open the parenthesis and close it. And inside this, you have to write the expression, the conditional expression. Okay, generally the conditional expression would be either using the logical operators or relational operators generally. Okay, it should evaluate to true or false. Remember that in C programming, any non-zero value is true and any zero value is treated as false. Okay, so generally whatever you write inside the if, the condition should either evaluate to non-zero value. If it is non-zero, then it's true. If it's zero, it is false. Okay, so here the condition is to check if the number is positive, x should be greater than 0. This is the condition. Okay, after this, after line number 15, I give enter, and then whatever comes inside the if statement, the true part, okay, the statement that is to be executed, we generally give some space here. I'm giving a tab space, and then I'm going to write a statement here. It is not a compulsory thing, but it is a good programming practice to give space here. Okay, so I'll write printf number is positive. Okay, so this is how you write it down. Now let's try to compile this code. So let's enter the number 5. So it is saying number is positive. Let me enter one more number, let's say -9. So there's no output here because we have not specified what is to be done if number is not positive. Okay, so this is one way decision making. Now there is one small thing that you need to note down here. Let's say I would like to execute more than one statement if the condition is true. Okay, so here I'm just executing line number 16 if the condition at line number 15 is true. Now let's say I would like to also display the number. Let's say I would like to display the number itself. Okay, let's say number is %d. Okay, I would like to display the number if it's positive. Okay, so number is x, right? So if I give two statements here like this, let's see what happens. Okay, so let's run this now. Let me give a positive number, let's say 5. Okay, it is giving a number is 5. Okay, and number is positive, it's working fine. Now let's give a negative number and check -9. Okay, now it is telling me that number is positive. -9 is not a positive number, isn't it? So something must be wrong here. Always remember, whatever the statement that comes after line number 15, just one statement would be the part of the statement of the if. Okay, this is the statement of the if. This is not the statement of the if. Okay, so if you want to make both of these statements inside the if, you have to use something called as braces. So if I give brace here, open the brace here and close it here. Okay, now these two statements would be the part of if. Alright, so both of these would be executed if the condition is true. Okay, so I'll write down here both printf will be executed if x greater than 0 is true or if it is non-zero. So if you want to execute more than one statement, if the condition is true, then you have to enclose those statements inside the block. That is, you have to put it inside the opening and closing brace. So this is how it works. Now let's try to compile this and see if it is working well. So let's say the number is -9. It is saying there is no output here. Okay, -9. That means because the condition is false, so nothing to be printed. Okay, so nothing is displayed here, and I'll give 5. It is displaying number is 5 and number is positive. Both the messages are displayed. Okay, now if I give a statement after if, let me give one statement. This is my let me give hello here. This is after my if statement. Okay, this entire thing is my if statement now. So this is after the if statement. Okay, so no matter what, if the condition is true or false, does not matter, this statement at line number 21 will always be executed. Okay, so let's see how it works. Let's provide the positive number 5. See, number is 5, number is positive, and hello is also displayed, because hello will always be displayed or executed whether the number is positive or negative, because this comes after the if statement. Okay, so let's give a negative number and check -9. Still this is executed. Okay, but the message number is -9 and number is positive is not displayed here because the condition is false. Okay, I hope you have understood how to work with decision making statement, and in this lecture we have learned how to work with simple if statement. That's all in this lecture. Stay tuned.